this vision that you were just on it.
Hey everyone, I'm Gloria Govian. Make sure you guys go check me out. Check out my boy, randomlyronniejr.com. His blog is hilarious. You won't be disappointed, I promise.
Oscar, you ready for it? You ready for the boom? You ready? Boom!
I like waking up to you, to you.
And not as tired now, but definitely enjoying the 4th of July. Got the cab driver hanging out. That's it.
L-O-V-E, love. Do you believe in love? Or do you think it believes in us? Do you wanna have my son?
Why did I leave LA and come to New York? You know, I think for me it was really an experience that I was yearning for. You know, it was random, and I understand that my foundation is in LA. I understand my family, it's where I grew up. I built a lot. You know, I worked really hard on my career, and I felt like I did really well with that. You know, I spent lots of years doing radio. It was what I loved. I had some television appearances, explored in the world of online social media, and everything was right. Everything felt good. But I know that there was something else internally that had me kind of thriving and dying to be on the East Coast. And as hard as it is to leave, you know, we built the Ernie and Jesse podcast, you know, the creative consultant on that project. You know, the hard work we put in with thespicylife.com and Marcie'elago, like these are things I almost yearn to stay for in LA, but I know that my life and my path can be just as good taking that leap of faith and jumping across coasts, you know? And New York was always something I wanted to do, and when I'm asked if I'm running, it's like, if I am running, I definitely am running for a reason. I'm trying to not necessarily find myself, but be myself and just do things different. You know, you're never gonna live life and have a happiness if you always have that what if. So on 4th of July, when the country got its independence, I mean, so did I.
It's Power 106 where hip hop lives. Your midday chica, Yessi Ortiz, and I want to send a big shout out to my boy Ronnie Jr., who's chasing the dream. Now, I've known this kid since Vegas radio, and like, dude, he's always on the grind. Happy 4th of July and happy Independence Day to you, Ronnie. Make it happen.
Fireworks for sure, happy 4th of July, and I am in New York City, living in Harlem with not a clue what to do.
Being out here all alone, city I can't call my home, struggling with what I know, running free but I should go.
I was lucky enough to have my cousin also performing entertainer type in our family. Maiza Ornelaz, she's been out here, you know, pursuing the world of dance and you know, as an actress, and luckily they had a spare room and I was the one to be able to sleep on the ground basically. And you know, it was like hit the ground running, you know, there was no time to be wasted. I was out there and I was in my city and it felt right.
So I'm leaving for me, yes, I'm leaving you. I'm lost in myself, embracing the new. I wonder if it's all pretend. I'm running, I'm running, I'm running. Oh yeah.
I wanted to find out where people who performed, you know, musicians, I wanted to really get into that world, you know. I know New York has so much, I mean, the people are just crazy, you know, the people are so energetic, and I knew that just venturing in the streets, I'd clearly find the right crowd. Man, it's you know, it's just electric. It's summertime and it's New York. It's everything that you want. You know, I'm very much tied into having a plan, and I now have no plan. But I get to take it all in, and that's something that no matter what happens for my life, it's very much necessary, you know. Okay, so it's my first year in New York, and two things that are always going to be very important to me are my money and my fitness. You know, I come from the world of being 315 pounds, you know, working hard on my craft, on my career, yes, but then also spending time maybe not being physically fit. McDonald's, I had inflated to 315 pounds in 2005. You know this. So for me, when I got to New York, I think not having tons of money, not being able to get a gym membership or take classes, but really just being with friends and hanging out. You know, you can't go out to drink all the time, so what can you do? You go run at the reservoir, you go get a bike, you go for a bike ride, all while having great friendships and camaraderie and keeping your fitness alive. You know, Fit with Fallon, my personal trainer, Fallon Mercedes, she's always like motivating me. You know, Ronnie, what are you doing? Is your career getting better? Cool. Is your life getting better? Cool. But what are you doing to make your mind, body, and soul connect? So I really enjoyed it. Being out there was always like a really big smile to get my workout on. You know, you better work it or the city's gonna work you back. One thing that I always loved about New York was the outdoor festivals. I mean, you're in California and you're in LA, and it was definitely like a cool vibe, I get that. But when you come to New York, there's nothing like the loud, crazy energy. I got a chance to see the Mr. Sunday, a group of friends, a lot of sweaty people. It was the Gowanus Grove, and it's kind of like what you see in the movies. You know, I just moved here from LA to New York, and I wanted that experience. Outdoors, sweaty, everyone was just, you know, hands in the air, like no one, sangrias were crazy. So I always enjoyed being outside.
Gossip, nigga, just stop it. Everybody know I'm a motherfucking monster.
You know, I moved here and I try to stay as busy as I can, and these festivals, I mean, they really bring New York City summer to life. I mean, I enjoyed so much to hit, you know, the Mr. Sunday, the Afro Punk, you know, all these different sorts of people in Fort Greene, Commodore Barry Park, the likes of Erykah Badu, Janelle Monáe, and just a bunch of screaming people. Like, this is what New York is. This is Brooklyn. I mean, I'm just enjoying every moment of it. You know, I also got my hands up. Like, I'm really enjoying this.
We do it big, yeah. We do it slow. Already, we do it for show. Y'all when they pimpin', you, hey. We get this baby, please you all night long. In this room, my bag is on. I'm at the front door. I'm listening by the phone. And we gon' be here alone. With my makeup on. It's a long time since my baby gone. But when he get here, you know I won't be gone. Because I love him. Hey, I love him strong. Me and this baby. Because they got the block, go like the truck straight out. Block, cut the block straight out. Block, go like the truck straight out. Block, go cut the yeah. Bees in the trap, bees in the trap, bees. Bitch, you know bees in no trap. Bees in the trap.
How's it going? BMW on demand. BMW on demand. Right here, you 57 and 11. We rock USA.
Pay no attention to the girl recording.
So now it's all said and done. You're living the dream, whatever. You moved from LA, you're in New York, you're trying to be on your feet, you're trying to make it. But what I was doing in LA, TV, radio, production type jobs, they were not gonna come as easy as in New York. So when I first got here, the only thing you can do is pick up any type of work. I mean, I did everything. Anything from promotions and marketing jobs, passing out flyers in Times Square, passing out flyers anywhere, TV extra work, webisode production, doorman concierge job, which is very nice because I tend to open up a door very well. I took on jobs as a truck driver, food delivery, wedding host, which was awesome. I worked the coat check, that was a lot of fun. And who could forget my very first driving job in New York? Wasn't like, hey Ronnie, you're hired to drive. No, hey Ronnie, you're hired to drive a production van of 14 and you're gonna be driving drag queens. Definitely, I said drag queens. Definitely an experience I'll never forget as one of my first jobs here in New York.
Now, here's a little quandary riddle mystery. Why does peppermint smell like cinnamon?
Because every time I wear peppermint fragrance, people say, girl, who's wearing Vicks Vapor Rub? Not cute.
You know, a highlight is just going after it and being available to work any kind of job. You know, the Samsung, the brand new event right there on 34th Street with Kanye West and a lot of other entertainers. That was a job that I enjoyed and I was glad to be a part of, and that's what it's about. Oh, and on a random day, I got to see Elle Varner. I was an elephant for the day. Elle Varner, I like her story a lot. For one, the show was in Soho at an Apple store. They do this very exclusive Meet the Musician showcase. And I felt like I really didn't have much to do necessarily at that time. I was still so new to the city. And I hear her story. The music is great already. And then I hear the story of this young girl, you know. She's a West Coast, you know, import, I guess, to New York, like myself. And she went to NYU, and this is in the coat check. She was singing in the coat check. And that's how she made it. That's how we're all sitting here together. So luckily enough, I got to check out her show, and it was something that I really always enjoyed. I felt like she had her little story, and some way or another, it was influencing my story. Whatever Ronnie Jr. was going to amount to in New York, I liked seeing somebody else who had went on that path. LA, New York, and they made it happen. You know, these are dreams. And Elle Varner definitely sang her ass off. It was nice. All right, so I already don't like dogs. Like, that's like evident. I mean, I think everyone I know says, Ronnie, you love people, but you don't like dogs. It's very weird like that, I get it. But something about being out here in New York suddenly made me a dog lover. But it didn't start good, let me tell you. Yeah, I want a little cutesy dog now, you know, it's real, you know, cuddle with it or whatever. But when I first got to New York, I'm talking, I had only been here for like a month. And I literally, like, the bank account was empty, and I was just doing what I had to do to survive because I wanted that New York City dream. And then the Rottweiler bites me. Oh yeah, it's like this city, you know, it's a big city and it's eating you alive. Well, sometimes you gotta bite back. I got bit by Rufus, the Rottweiler, 16 stitches, and honestly, I think once you get bit by a dog, you're part Rottweiler. So randomly, Ronnie Jr. is definitely part Rottweiler after that terrible, which became a cool experience. Ended up at the Washington Heights hospital and just made it through. Another task that comes with New York that you just let it happen and you just keep pushing through. No one's gonna stop you. So easily, hands down, I'm obsessed with the TV show How to Make It in America. So when I'm thinking, it's my birthday, I've been here for a little while, what can I do to have that type of fun? You know, these guys were all about their hustle, making things happen, how to make it, that's what I'm trying to do. And I'm like, I don't ever stop working. Like, I have my work hustle so much, and to have my birthday around Labor Day weekend, I really kind of didn't know what I was gonna do. Was I gonna work the whole way through? No, I got together with some friends, made it happen. We hit a Lower East Side spot. Nothing like being out in pianos, LES, and just enjoying that vibe. All right, so New York City, subways, public transportation, for that matter. Real New Yorkers who grew up here, it may just be the way. But when you've driven on the 405 and the 110 and you battle traffic and LA was your thing, you kind of like embrace this vibe of New York. You know, you're not in a bubble, you're not in a car anymore. You are surrounded by this type of person, that type of person. This person looks like that, that person smells like that, you know. And with that all comes a little bit of an artistic endeavor, you know, about it. Nothing better than to see people, you know, young kids breakdancing. You had people singing. You had people just being interesting on the train. It was that electric feeling that I feel like, you know, 10 years down the road, I'll never have as much as when I first got to New York. And I think that's true of anybody who first understands the subway system.
I don't know if you love me 'cause we sleep in separate rooms. We don't smoke
You know, and my creative and artistic bug, I guess, just comes out everywhere. I think it was right before Thanksgiving. Most people that I knew were more focused on just getting their plans together and enjoying the holidays. You know, a friend of mine who sings, very much a talent, Michael and I, we decided, why not be goofy enough and go down there into the train, into the subway, and emerge with that scene, you know, embrace it. I was just there as support or whatever, you know, something that would be great content for my blog, you know, a new experience. And Mike just, he literally like got on the subway system and we went down to West 4th, Washington Square, where other musicians have performed also. And he just sang. Like, it didn't matter who was listening, it didn't matter if we had people around or not. He just went to work and started singing. And, you know, he's a true musician, and sometimes it's not about the record deal or even pushing for it. In New York, there's something a little more special where if you got talent in this city, you just show it. And he definitely did. And it was a great song and a great memory right by NYU. And I definitely always loved that.
With the windows down and my heart pounding out of my chest and the wind blowing in my hair that I cut for you, 'cause you wanted me to, 'cause you wanted a man and not just a boy with big dreams and a nice voice. Oh no, 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 no. You wanted a man. Oh yeah. Working a 9 to 5, a nice guy that you can bring home to mama. But that ain't me. So you gon' leave and write me a 4-page letter telling me how you can do better. Telling me.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah.
You know, it's the city that never sleeps, they say. Well, that's good because I basically don't sleep either. It definitely channels in on my insomnia, but that's a whole nother story. I just feel like New York for me was grabbing that energy and running with it, you know? I took the ball, I ran with it, and I tasted all these new experiences. You know, I've always been known for being so upbeat and happy and positive, and that certainly is a lot of who I am, but in New York, I allowed myself to really understand and get it. So, and my therapist will tell you more than anybody, I definitely went through it, you know, those emotions and, you know, the highs and the lows, you know, walking in the street that nobody knows, you know, it's just like, what is going on? But you are here. And no one's gonna take that away from you. I think it was the best decision that I could have made randomly. I think doing it and hearing other people that I know, I wanna go to New York too, or I have this dream to get into law school, or I have this dream to be an actor. Like, you gotta jump sometimes, and it's not gonna be pretty. You know, you're gonna have those nights where you've gotta phone home and you gotta call mama and enjoy the support system that you have where you come from and the support and the friends that I got out here in New York as well. It's about building and it's about trying something new, and everything in my life I try to just be outside the box a little, you know. They try to put you in the box but they can't, you know. And not be afraid, man. Like, I think when you're really young, and a lot of my friends, you know, as far as entertainer types, you know, we have a very clear cut, that very clear cut, concise way of what we're gonna do and how we're gonna do it. But you know what? If you ain't happy, man, it's not ever gonna come to you. So.
Chase my dream, chase my dream, chase my dream. We're gonna